concessions again that are going to be made that if you want to put on your NFL season, you're going to have to do it in empty stadiums without fans. Let's be honest about something. I know it seems like the worst thing in the world, and you're probably having visions of the AAF run through your mind where they were playing in empty stadiums, but let's be honest about something. If the NFL had to choose games with fans and no TV, or games without fans and TV, which one do you think they're taking? Obviously the latter. The TV viewership is much more important than the fan viewership. That's just a harsh reality. That's just business. There's more money tied into that for the league than there is with fans going to the games. It sucks for the owners. It's probably not as fun of an environment to play in if you're a player. You lose a little bit of that atmosphere. It's not ideal, but you work with what you got. You work with what you got, and it's not the end of the world. WrestleMania went on with no fans. And WrestleMania did pretty well because the WWE realized, man, it's not ideal, but I mean, what would be worse? Having a non-televised event with an arena packed with fans? No. You want the TV audience. You want the viewership. Why do you think the UFC is putting on these events coming up next week? The UFC is going to have 3 different fight cards in a matter of a week with no fans. You think they give a rip at this point? No, you can't get everything, so you got to compromise. All right, we can't have fans. It's not going to have the same live feel. You're not going to have the energy of the crowd pumping up the fighters when they walk to the cage. But you know what is going to happen? You're going to have a bunch of people watching it. You're probably going to have a bunch of people watching it that may not have watched it before. It's no coincidence that the WWE made the decision to have the title, the World Championships, change hands from 2 established, well-known wrestlers that everybody knew in mainstream, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, and put it on brand new faces. Because the WWE recognized, hey, there's a lot of people at home that maybe have never watched our product before. This is an opportunity for us to showcase some new faces and maybe move the industry forward, maybe move the company forward, maybe give people a first glimpse at these wrestlers they've never heard of as opposed to the guys they always have heard of. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's not ideal, but it doesn't have to be a bad thing. And I feel like too much, whenever anybody tries to get happy or excited or give you a positive outlook nowadays, somebody's on Twitter to remind you about how bad things are. It doesn't have to be the end of the world. We can adjust. We can modify. If you're willing to compromise, there is some bright spots through this whole thing. Jonas Knox, Fox Sports Radio, from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and auto insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com, easy. Get me on Twitter, at @TheJonasKnox, @TheJonasKnox on Twitter. Up next, there is an interesting layered conversation about one player in the NFL. And it's probably not going to sit well with a lot of people, but it's the truth. Find out what it is next year on FSR.
Welcome. Since we finally got a taste of some sort of sports,
the 2020 NFL Draft.
So now, as we move on here,
we need more.
Even more.
So let's all stay inside, social distance, and wash our hands. Because the taste of sports is what we all need. On Fox Sports Radio.
Men, with today's health concerns, it's more important than ever to take care of your body. That means eating right, sleeping enough, and maybe even taking supplements. My supplement is M-Drive Elite. Designed to strengthen your body, M-Drive Elite is packed with powerful, clinically tested ingredients, including immune support, all in one easy supplement. M-Drive Elite is the premier M-Drive. Listen to these benefits: testosterone support for energy and strength, immune support for cell health, antioxidant support for vital cell functions. Plus, the M-Drive team is so confident, they'll give you your money back if you're not 100% satisfied within 60 days. With today's health concerns, you need to eat right, sleep enough, and supplement your diet where needed. Get M-Drive Elite at GNC and Vitamin Shop, or go to mdriveformen.com and use the code DRIVE to get 20% off your first M-Drive purchase. M-Drive Elite. elite testosterone and immune support. Go to mdriveformen.com today and use the code DRIVE at checkout to get 20% off your first mDrive purchase. Refine your prime with mDrive.
Since 1964, Hustler Turf has been engineering and making the original zero-turn lawnmowers right here in the USA with U.S. and global parts. Professional landscapers and homeowners rely on Hustler's trademark smooth track steering, their durable welded steel decks, and their premium reinforced seats that provide a superior ride and ultra comfort. Once you drive a Hustler, you'll immediately feel the difference. And let me tell you something else. You'll actually look forward to mowing your grass. These top-of-the-line mowers allow you to mow faster and more efficiently. For professionals, that means money in your pocket. For homeowners, that means spending more time with your family. If something should ever happen to your Hustler mower, or you simply need a replacement part like a new blade, help is never far away with Hustler's gigantic network of almost 1,400 dealers nationwide. Visit hustlerturf.com to find one near you. That's HUSTLER turf.com.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Periscope. Don't miss out on anything. Stay in touch with Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 on social media.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
The landscape is so beautiful at Town Village Audubon Park. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, theme dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
If you don't know us by now, first question. How is that possible? We're a fun-loving sports network. We give you insight.
This story is something I absolutely love.
We give you hot takes.
This is an insane hot take.
We give you the sports and information you need.
It's fun. It's the best.
As Biggie once said, if you don't know, now you know.
And if you don't know, now you know.
We're Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1.
Test.
1.
Jonas Knox, Fox Sports Radio, coming to you live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. Coming up, we'll call it a little over 10 minutes from now here on Fox Sports Radio. We have the scraps, things from the world of sports we have not had a chance to get to. We will have that for you here coming up 10 minutes from now on Fox Sports Radio. So there's an interesting conversation to be had for one player in the NFL. And it's actually a deeper, more layered conversation than I think people are acknowledging. They're doing simple math, and you can't do simple math with this one. And here's why I bring that up. So Doug Marrone is the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He talked on Friday about Gardner Minshew, no doubt as their quarterback of the future, but they're looking to add a veteran backup. And the thought is it'll be Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's got ties to Jay Gruden, and Andy Dalton could come in, could step in, be a veteran backup, and if something goes wrong with Gardner Minshew, Doug Marrone, who's coaching for his job, will make the switch, turn to Andy Dalton, and then the Jaguars are off and running if he can put together some sort of a Ryan Tannehill type season like Tannehill did last year for Tennessee. And so the conversation then goes to, all right, well, why Andy Dalton? Why not Cam Newton? And I actually think, regardless of who you think is better, Cam Newton or Andy Dalton, I think Andy Dalton is probably a better fit for just about every team in the NFL as a backup than Cam Newton is. And that's acknowledging that Cam Newton has played better in his career and is being a former MVP, and his ceiling is much higher than Andy Dalton's has ever been in the NFL. That's acknowledging that Cam Newton has had a better career than Andy Dalton. I think Andy Dalton is a better fit at this point as a backup for just about every single team in the NFL than Cam Newton is. And here's why I say that. I like Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton is a fantastic football player, a borderline Hall of Famer to some people, former MVP, went to a Super Bowl. I defended his behavior after the Super Bowl. I think he's a tough dude. I think he's played through a lot of pain. I think people talk about the injuries. I mean, let's talk about all the stuff he has played through. I think Cam Newton has had a really, really good career. Won a national championship in college. I think he's had a phenomenal career, and I like Cam Newton a lot. But there is a reality of this situation, and you can push back on this all you want, but it's just a fact. Cam Newton's situation is tricky because Cam Newton is loud. And I don't mean loud in that he talks a lot. I don't mean loud in that he's got, a bunch of distractions. He just comes with a lot of attention and a lot of notoriety. And the last thing you want, and this is just a fact, the last thing you want of your backup quarterback is for him to make a bunch of noise. Like no team in the NFL wants to deal with that. No team in the NFL, like the loudest person in the room can't be the backup. Like certain guys are just starters or they're not. Like they're either starters or they're not in the league. Cam Newton's one of them. It's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing. His talent, his skill set is once in a generation type talent physically. The things that he can do, he's amazing. And from everything I've heard, he's a good dude. But he's not built to be a backup. And I think he knows it, and I don't think he has any interest in wanting to be a backup. He's a starter, or he's not in the league. Like, he just doesn't make sense as a backup. Andy Dalton does. Marcus Mariota does. Those guys can go be a backup somewhere and be quiet, and it's fine. Like, there's a reason why Tim Tebow wouldn't be a good backup, because there's too much noise around him. There's a reason why Colin Kaepernick can't be a backup. There's too much noise around him. Johnny Manziel could never be a backup. There's too much noise. The loudest person, the loudest player in the room can't be your backup quarterback. It's not about race. It's not about quality of play. It's just a real conversation that teams in the NFL don't want to deal with. It applied to Tebow. It applied to Kaepernick. And I think it applies to Cam Newton. And I think Cam Newton knows it. Like, that is the tricky part of this conversation with Cam Newton. Man, nobody out there thinks Gardner Minshew's better than Cam Newton. Nobody out there thinks Andy Dalton's better than Cam Newton. Like nobody thinks Marcus Mariota's better than Cam Newton. Nobody. But there are certain guys that can be a backup and certain guys that can't. Cam Newton's just one of those guys that can't be a backup. It's what it is. It's why, man, I don't think there's a spot for him. And it has nothing to do with his skill set. It's not about the injury concerns. It has nothing to do with that. Look, I think Eli Manning is kind of in that realm as well, too. Like, Eli Manning just doesn't fit the mold of a backup quarterback. If Eli Manning wanted to still play, there are a bunch of jobs out there for him to be a veteran backup quarterback. He doesn't want it. That's not how he envisions himself. Ask yourself this. You think Phillip Rivers is going to hang on a couple extra years to be a backup? No. He's out. Oh, I'm not starting? There's no spots for me? See ya. You think Tom Brady's going to hang around and be a backup for a couple of years after his prime playing days are over? No, he's out. Certain guys can be backups and certain guys can't. Cam Newton is a star. Stars can't be backups. Tim Tebow was a star. Not a good backup. Colin Kaepernick, whatever your opinion is on Colin Kaepernick and whatever you think of what the guy's a star. He can't be a backup. It doesn't work. There's too much noise that's attached to it. So this idea that we want to talk about Cam Newton not getting jobs and, well, are you saying somebody's a better quarterback? No, nobody's saying that. Cam Newton's better than a lot of, I would say almost every backup quarterback in the NFL. Cam Newton's better than. That's the problem. There's more to the conversation. It's not about health. It's not about Cam. There's a lot of places that could use a backup quarterback. There's a lot of teams out there who, if they added Cam Newton, it would be an upgrade from a player standpoint. But the loudest person in the room can't be your backup. And that's where Cam Newton finds himself. It sucks. Like I said, it's a blessing and a curse. You know, it's probably easier to find jobs in the NFL. If you're okay, just, Chase Daniel, that guy's always going to find jobs in the NFL because he's okay being a backup, not going to cause any problems, going to go in there, going to do his job, and when called upon, he can give you, a few good series and maybe win you a game or two. Cam Newton's not that guy. Like, he was born to be a starter. Some guys are, some guys aren't. Jonas Knox, Fox Sports Radio from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. Get me on Twitter, @TheJonasKnox, @TheJonasKnox on Twitter. Coming up next, we've got the scraps, things in the world of sports we have not had a chance to get to. It's yours next here on FSR. But for all the latest from around the world of sports, Kevin Figures.
All right, the NBA's Board of Governors had a conference call on Friday, and they voted to postpone the draft lottery and draft combine that were scheduled to take place later this month. No decision has been made as of yet on the possible postponement of the NBA draft. It is currently scheduled for June 25th. They also discussed the possibility of starting next season on or slightly before Christmas Day. In the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars declined to pick up the fifth-year option on running back Leonard Fournette. The team reportedly tried to trade Fournette prior to the draft, but were not able to consummate a deal. A federal judge in California has ruled in favor of the U.S. Soccer Federation in the wage discrimination lawsuit that was brought upon by the women's national team. And Major League Baseball and the Umpires Association reached a wage agreement for 2020 that will ensure all Major League umpires at least one-third of their salary if just one regular season game is played this year. Back to Jonas Knox.
Thanks, Kev. Coming to you live here from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios, where it's easy to save 15% or more on car insurance with Geico. Go to geico.com or call 800-947-AUTO. The only hard part, figuring out which way is easier. Coming up in about 15 minutes from now here on Fox Sports Radio, I'm actually looking forward to this. It's another edition of Ticket or Stick It, but it goes beyond the world of sports, something we are all able to relate to around the country. Don't go anywhere. I'm looking forward to it. 15 minutes from now on Fox Sports Radio. Right now, though, it's time for a little something we do on the show called this.
Jonas.
You moron.
How could you not get to these stories?
You moron.
These are the scraps.
And for that, we turn it over to the great and powerful Kevin Figures to find out what the hell we've missed so far on the show, Kev.
So Mike Tyson has had a bit of a redemption outside the ring these last, I'd say, decade or so. Business ventures, had a short-lived cartoon show, doing a podcast now, but he says now he's ready to step back into the ring. He says he wants to do a few short, maybe 4 or 5 round boxing matches for charity, and he actually posted a video on Friday of him putting in some mitt work, and, doesn't look too bad for a 54-year-old. Those hands have not lost too much speed. How much money do I have to pay you to get in the ring with Mike Tyson for a couple of rounds, Jonas?
I'm good. Thank you, though.
Okay.
Just seeing him hit the pay, and look, he's not anywhere close to the shape that he was in, but they always say the last thing to go on a fighter is his punch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
my goodness. I mean, the speed still at 54 is unreal.
Good God. Like, here's what was so amazing about Tyson, and this may not seem like a big thing, but it's a really big thing. So he had the ability to where with the same side, left or right, he could dig you to the body with a left, and right after that, come up to the head with the left. Right. And you may think, what's the big deal? Who can't do that?
That is so difficult.
It's so difficult to do because you also have to be faster than the reaction of the guy getting punched, and if that guy's already covering up on that side. Like Tyson, he could do things that fighters just couldn't do, that fighters weren't able to do. And at his size, just seeing his speed in that video, it's like, good Christ, man. Like how do you, like, that's just that's God-given power. Like that's what the MMA trainer Firas Zahabi calls the touch of death, to where he said there's certain fighters, for whatever reason, they hit you and it feels different. Like Tyson's one of those guys. He's got the touch of death. Like he hits you, and you just you vaporize. You can't guys can't function. Like look at all those old school knockouts. Like I have no interest in getting in the ring with him. I'll pass.
Yeah, the combination of the speed and the power to go along with just the natural instincts are what made him so excellent. People pan him as he's just a knockout puncher, and he was a devastating puncher. But, I mean, just for the actual speed that he showed, I mean, he had one of the quickest punches I've ever seen.
Oh, and a total student of the game. Grew up, knows the history of the sport front to back. Could tell you any era, grew up actually studying the sport, really being invested in learning about all the all-time greats. And, yeah, his redemption story that you talked about has been unbelievable, to where, he just discusses – not wanting to, to go down the path that he was at. I think doesn't he have a pot farm? I know he's big into the weed industry.
Right.
I think medical marijuana and all that stuff. So he's had a really good bounce back, and just seeing him with Evander Holyfield and those guys now, and he tries to keep that dark side of him caged up as much as possible because he just doesn't want to go there. He's had an amazing bounce back.
He really has. And so you were talking about the Last Dance documentary a few minutes ago, and someone who has brought themselves back to the forefront and talking about what's happened during the documentary is David Falk, and that is Michael Jordan's former agent. He did a recent interview, and in that interview he says that he believes Scottie Pippen is actually jealous of Michael Jordan. He says, why else would Scottie come out and say that LeBron James is a better player than Michael? He said, quote, if you're Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan completely made your career, even if you think LeBron is better, you would keep that to yourself. He also said that Scottie's problem is that he wasn't a competitor, and he cited Scottie sitting out that playoff game, that Game 7 against Detroit, because he had migraines. He said Michael Jordan would never have done that because unless Michael had a broken leg, he was going to go out there and play.
Good God, man. How this is stirring up all these old feuds is so bizarre. I just the whole no handshaking, and now it's Scottie Pippen versus Michael Jordan. And clearly, if Michael Jordan's agent is talking about, is this still his current agent?
I don't believe Falk is. I think it's his former agent.
Yeah, if he's talking about it, there's probably something on the conclusion of The Last Dance that alludes to, Scottie Pippen may being jealous of Michael Jordan. Look, I mean, I'm not a jealous person, but I can understand Scottie Pippen being jealous of Michael Jordan. He got all the notoriety, all the fanfare, and I actually thought it was cool that Michael Jordan acknowledged in the first weekend's episodes, without Scottie Pippen, I don't win my championships. Like he was the first one to point that out. Scottie Pippen was great, but this pity party for Scottie Pippen after the first weekend, it's like, oh my God. Like, come on, guys. I mean, he signed a contract at the time. It wasn't the worst contract in the world, and he agreed to it. And let's not forget that he was also the same guy who refused to go into a game after they called the play for Tony Kukoc and didn't call it for him. He sat down and refused to go back into a game.
Few people are bringing that up. Many people have forgotten about that, apparently. That was in the 94 postseason against the Knicks.
If that happened today.
Oh, my goodness.
It's the talk of sports.
Easily.
He refused to go into a game because he was upset they didn't call the play for him at the end of a game that they won and the play worked. Mm-hmm. He refused to go in. And yet after the first – that's why I keep saying, man, it's a TV show. They're going to position it how they're going to give you the message they want you to take away with. And what the message was that you came away the first weekend was Jerry Krause bad, poor Scottie Pippen. I know this for a fact. Scottie Pippen, somebody told me this story. This is so great. So Scottie Pippen's nickname was No Tippin' Pippen.
Oh, yeah. This is well documented for sure.
So I heard this on good authority that Gibson Steakhouse in Chicago, that Scottie Pippen, and I forget which one it was either orange juice or vodka, but Scottie Pippen was so cheap that he walked in. This is a story I heard, and I believe it from the person I heard it from, that he walked in to Gibson Steakhouse with his own orange juice so that he didn't have to pay for it when he ordered a screwdriver. I swear to God. I swear to God. He did not have the best reputation around town. Like, I swear to God, that's a true story. That he walked in with his own orange juice. Like, imagine Scottie Pippen, world champion, one of the most well-known athletes in the city, and he walks in with Sunny Delight to a steakhouse.
Hey, man, I got to save that $3.95 on that orange juice, brother.
Like, he did not have – the person who told me – is in the know, and I 100% believe it. I totally buy it. So, like, but again, they can spin it and make you walk away going, my God, poor Scottie Pippen. And it's like, I mean, Jesus, did you see what he made after his time with the Bulls?
Right.
I mean, he was vastly overpaid at that point in his career.
I'm surprised, and maybe they will bring it up at a certain point. Michael Jordan wasn't making that much on his Bulls contract either. He was able to make up so much of it because of his endorsement deals, but he wasn't. And I think Charles Barkley brought this up in an interview earlier this week. He says everybody was blaming Jerry Krause for breaking up the Bulls. Jerry Krause was the GM. Jerry Reinsdorf was the owner, and he was notoriously 100%. Cheap. He didn't want to pay anybody.
Yeah, 100%.
So
totally agree.
Didn't pay Phil, didn't pay Michael, didn't pay Scottie at the end, and that's what ended up breaking it up.
But it was Jerry Krause who was the fall guy.
Correct.
Who got all the blame. Never mind the fact he's the guy who identified Phil Jackson early on when nobody knew who he was. Mm-hmm. Rodman, Pippen, like those were all Jerry Krause moves, and people criticize him. I think it was overblown.
And just to piggyback off that, I hadn't pulled this for the scraps, but I saw this story the other day. Ken Burns, who does a great job with these sports documentaries, and he did some of the Civil War and World War II. He's amazing. And he criticized The Last Dance because it's basically green-lighted by Michael Jordan himself, who had the rights to the footage and his production companies attached to it. He said when you have a documentary like this, it can't be objective when the main subject of the film has creative control over what's said and what the narrative is said.
Yeah, like that. That's why when people call it a documentary, I use documentary-ish.
Yeah,
because it's their version of what happened. You talk to a lot of those guys about Tiger King, and you'll hear those guys after the fact say, yeah, listen, the way it was presented isn't exactly totally accurate as far as the depiction on these characters and whatnot. Like you come away from there with one aspect of it, and then you talk to those guys after the fact, and they'll go, no, hold on a second. Like there's more to what is going on here. It's not just what is being presented. Let's go live to our I Have a Thought on Tiger King insider, Chris Buffett, for the latest.
Not Tiger King, but no, to your point about this too, I know this was brought up by someone else earlier in this week too, about one thing that got left out about the Pistons handshake thing is that, the day or so, the week or so before, Jordan told the media that he didn't think the Pistons championships were legitimate, and that got completely left out. That's kind of big context onto why those guys didn't shake his hand.
It's like the Fred Brown turnover after Michael Jordan shot in the NCAA title game. Like, that's one of the worst mistakes in a big-time sports game of all time, not included. Like, you can't just take their word for it. You got to go back and do the research, and just with the understanding, the asterisk of, listen, this is a TV show. Yep. It's not gospel. It's just their version of events.
Even in that one series against Detroit, when they say, Michael Jordan came out with his hair on fire and he went off, and they showed him, doing that twisting, turning, driving layup that he threw over his head, that was like in Game 5. Yet they added it to the compilation of what happened in Game 1.
I know.
It was like selective editing. Like, really? What are we doing here?
But that was coming out with your hair on fire, Kev. You waited 4 games.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
Yeah, of course.
And by then, he didn't even have any hair.
Oh, come on.
That's sorry, well, it's true. Those are the scraps.
Good stuff. Jonas Knox here on Fox Sports Radio. Can't believe Kevin Figures took out Michael Jordan like that. Jeez. Unbelievable. From the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios, get me on Twitter at @TheJonasKnox, @TheJonasKnox on Twitter. All right, coming up next, I am fascinated by this, and it is something that all of you can relate to in our latest edition of Ticket or Stick It. Don't go anywhere. It's yours next year on FSR.
In a world where there is no sports, no NBA, no MLB, no NHL, no nothing, we at Fox Sports Radio want you to know. We're here for you, and rest assured, we'll keep giving you all the entertainment you need to get you through these tough times. So keep it locked. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Men, with today's health concerns, it's more important than ever to take care of your body. That means eating right, sleeping enough, and maybe even taking supplements. My supplement is M-Drive Elite. Designed to strengthen your body, M-Drive Elite is packed with powerful, clinically tested ingredients, including immune support, all in one easy supplement. M-Drive Elite is the premier M-Drive. Listen to these benefits: testosterone support for energy and strength, immune support for cell health, antioxidant support for vital cell functions. Plus, the M-Drive team is so confident, they'll give you your money back if you're not 100% satisfied within 60 days. With today's health concerns, you need to eat right, sleep enough, and supplement your diet where needed. Get M-Drive Elite at GNC and Vitamin Shop, or go to mdriveformen.com and use the code DRIVE to get 20% off your first M-Drive purchase. M-Drive Elite. Elite testosterone and immune support. Go to mdriveformen.com today and use the code DRIVE at checkout to get 20% off your first M-Drive purchase. Refine your prime with M-Drive.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. Fiveash Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing is what we do.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for a fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
Chad Gatlin is your Mid-South Farmers agent, and he's easy to find. Just go to memphisfarmers.com to get a fast quote or call his office at 901-237-1176. And during this wild time we're all facing, know Chad has you covered. Whether you need to file a claim, get a quote, or just talk about what he can do to give you the absolute best coverage at the best price. Chad is a Memphis man and knows the area and that everyone is different, and he will work to make sure you have everything you need and nothing you don't. Get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com or call 901-235-1176. First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking. No telephone pole to get in your way. A cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
There are so many ways to like us.
Let's go to the stat sheet.
Following us on Twitter at Fox Sports Radio.
I like them a lot.
Listening on iHeartRadio.
I like it tight.
Listening right here.
We're here about the truth.
Podcasting. The list goes on and on.
I like how you took that to its extreme.
And this is why you like us.
This is why.
We don't tie you down.
Good for you. I like that.
So be free and find that listening side piece.
And with that,
we are Fox Sports Radio. Don't miss your favorite celebrities like Rob Lowe, Meghan Trainor, and Joe Buck watching and commentating on TV's biggest moments. Celebrity Watch Party premieres Thursday on Fox.
Todo aquel que piense que la vida es desigual tiene que saber que no es así, que la vida es una hermosura, hay que vivirla.
Jonas Knox, Fox Sports Radio, coming to you live here from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. I will be back on the air with Bucky Brooks coming up 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 o'clock Pacific, a 4-hour extravaganza here on Fox Sports Radio, 4 to 8 Eastern, 1 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time here on FSR. Myself, Bucky Brooks, all sorts of fun stuff and shenanigans here on Fox Sports Radio. So looking forward to that. But it is something, and I'm really looking forward to this. This is something that we do every single week here on Fox Sports Radio. It's a little something called Ticket or Stick It. We normally do it when there was actual sporting events on, where I got to try and guess what it would cost to get into a sporting event, and most of the time it reveals what a cheap ass I am. So with no sports, we've come up with different things that we can do each and every week. So right now it's time for the latest version of this.
Something big is happening.
Ariana Grande, a dangerous woman on the road.
Should you go?
And we have your tickets.
It's Ticket or Stick It. Ooh, sounds hot.
And for that, we've got our executive producer, Ryan Bershinger. Bersh, what is the category this week on Ticket or Stick It?
Gas prices.
All right. Yes.
I'd buy that for $1.
This is going to be a tough one. All right, feed me.
All right, well, these are the average gas prices in various large cities, counties, and states across the United States, according to GasBuddy.com. And we'll start off with Los Angeles. You want a gallon of gas in Los Angeles. Jonas, what would you pay?
I'll give you, I think the last time I filled up, I think it was $3.39. So I'll say $3.29.
That's around what I'm paying as well. That's a ticket because it's $2.82 is the current.
Really?
That is the current average in Los Angeles County, $2.82.
Oh, so I got hosed.
Yeah.
I paid way too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, they raked me over the coals at gas station.
A little bit.
Those bastards.
Where do you think the cheapest price in California currently is for gas?
Where the cheapest price is at?
Yeah.
$2.09.
Oh, no. $2.40 is actually the cheapest in California.
Yeah,
you can find that in Bakersfield.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
$2, and we're like, so people out there nationally that don't gas was approaching $5 not that long ago a gallon. So this is astonishing where the prices are at.
Let's look at the rest of the country. How about Dallas? You want a gallon of gas in Dallas?
$2.59.
That's a ticket because it's $1.35.
$1.35 in Dallas?
Yep.
For a gallon of gas?
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
I'm not kidding.
That's like the cost of a Butterfinger. For a gallon of gas, it's $1.35. Good for Dallas. All right, what else we got?
How about Hawaii? A gallon of gas in Hawaii.
Oh, Jesus. I will say $2.79.
Oh, you can stick it because Hawaii is actually the most expensive in the United States at $3.09.
And you know what, though? They're getting crushed, and I feel bad for Hawaii. And I don't think enough people have talked about it. 40% unemployment.
Oof.
because it's a place where people go on vacation, and they've got tourism. They've been getting killed by it, so I feel terrible for Hawaii and our friends on Fox Sports 990. All right, one more. What else we got, Berge?
Well, I'll give you this. Give me the amount of states, including Washington, D.C., where gas is currently over $2 on average.
20.
No, 9. Only 9 states where gas is over $2 on average. Everywhere else is under $2.
Unbelievable. By the way, you know what else is unbelievable? Ryan Bershinger's performance.
We are Fox Sports!
Hey, it's Ben Maller. Though we are apart these days, we're sharing more. And Geico would like to say thanks. Thanks for sharing your savage dance moves. Thanks for sharing your DIY haircut fails. Thanks for sharing your inner lip sync star. And now it's Geico's turn to share too, with a Geico give back of 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for current and new customers. And because Geico's committed for the long haul, the 15% credit lasts your full policy term. Visit geico.com/giveback for information, eligibility.
TimeshareTerminationTeam.com will get you out.
Are you tired of paying costly fees for a timeshare you can never use? Timeshare Termination Team will get you out of your timeshare, legally and permanently, guaranteed. Act now to get 15% off this month only. Visit TimeshareTerminationTeam.com today.
TimeshareTerminationTeam.com will get you out.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
You can get podcasts of all our daily shows and all of our biggest interviews delivered right to your inbox just by signing up at sports56whbq.com. It's the best way to stay informed on what's going on in sports, and it's brought to you by Surfacescapes Concrete Floors. They'll get your pool deck looking new and beautiful this year, and it'll be up to 20 degrees cooler on your feet. Call 901-888-5000 or go to surfacescapes.com. Get full shows and the best interviews from Sports 56 delivered straight to your inbox. Sign up at sports56whbq.com.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Start your day at Sunrise Memphis. Located in Midtown, enjoy delicious biscuit sandwiches and all their menu has to offer with quick and easy to-go and delivery options. Whether it's breakfast, brunch, or lunch, don't distance yourself from great food. For more information on Sunrise Memphis, visit sunrise901.com or call 901-552-3144 to place your order. Stay healthy and eat Sunrise Memphis today.
At Victory Auto Sales, that's victoryauto.org. We always ask our customers what they want most of the used car.
I want a car that runs when I turn the key. Don't want my appointment over there just waiting on me. Buddy. Throw away the cable. You'll never be late with one of our cars because they are just darn great. I want a car that runs down the road, that doesn't leave me stranded while it's getting towed. I want brakes on my car so I can stop when I'm driving too fast and when I see a cop.
They want a car that starts. They want a car that runs. They want a car that stops. Victory Auto Sales, 901-380-5800. That's victoryauto.org. Check us out. We are at 4885 Elmore, just off Covington Pike. In-house financing, of course. Generous credit approval. Of course, don't forget to ask about our layaway. That's victoryauto.org, 901-380-5800. Fill out the credit app online or come by or give us a call, 901-380-5800.
Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wallo and Stats. Weekday afternoons from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM. We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Fox Sports trending now.
The NBA's Board of Governors had a conference call on Friday, and they voted to postpone the draft lottery and draft combine that were scheduled to take place later this month. No decision has been made as of yet on a possible postponement of the NBA draft, which is currently scheduled for June 25th. They also discussed the possibility of starting next season on or slightly before Christmas Day. In the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars declined to pick up the fifth-year option for running back Leonard Fournette. The team reportedly tried to trade Fournette prior to the draft, but were not able to consummate the deal. A federal judge in California has ruled in favor of the U.S. Soccer Federation in the wage discrimination lawsuit that was brought upon by the women's national team. And Major League Baseball and the Umpires Association reached a wage agreement for 2020, ensuring that all Major League umpires will make at least one-third of their salary if at least one regular season game is played. I'm Kevin Figures.
Here we go.
Without further ado,
it's Fox Sports Saturday with the fellas.
That's true. That right.
Anthony Gargano.
I'm a complete weirdo.
And three-time Pro Bowler Lincoln Kennedy.
That's it?
What? The fellas are on and popping now.
Live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios.
Here's Anthony Gargano and three-time Pro Bowler Lincoln Kennedy.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Sports Saturday to all across the nation. We are the fellas. He is Lincoln Kennedy. I'm Anthony Gargano. We come to you live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com for a free rate quote. I'm Cuz, and here he is. Big bleeping Lake.
Hey, what's happening, Captain?
What's up, my brother?
How you doing, man?
We got a little hope across the world.
All right, what happened?
Well, things are looking a little bit up. Things are looking a little bit up, right?
Yeah, the new month, new opportunities, and things are slowly opening back up, I think, in every state.
Right.
So that's your hope.
And I guess that's, all right, let me get right to it.
Right.
Do you think that they will play ball this summer? Any ball, round ball, baseball, or
there will be baseball.
pucks?
There will be baseball.
So you think there will be baseball?
Yeah.
What about baskets?
I still think you're going to have a harder time, from what I've heard, sequestering all the NBA athletes and keeping them away from their family for, 3 months, 4 months. I mean, you might have some variation of it, but I would think it would probably be the regular season will be over. You take the playoffs as it is right now, and you go with that to try to expedite it as quickly as possible, because you can't play out the rest of the season.
All right, let me throw the scenarios by you, okay, and then you, because you always have a real good feel. You have a good feel both in the game and, more importantly, outside the game when it comes to logistics, the politics of it all. Like, this isn't just about the sport. This is about, life, right? And this is about, this is big revenue for sports.
Certainly.
But also a political thing when it comes to, what we're looking at with regards to enough testing and all that stuff. So the NBA, let's take the NBA first. The NBA, which should be the easiest of all the sports.
Right.
Because just it takes the fewest amount of people.
Right.
Right. It's easy. Like, you could, the thing that came up this week was we could put them in Disney World.
Right.
So first it was Vegas, and then someone had the idea, well, what about Disney World? And they have all the hotel space, and you could put everybody in Disney World, and you could play what would have come out to be a July, August, really like a 2.5 month, if that, playoffs.
Right.
Right? Involving 10 teams per conference.
Yeah.
Now, independent of whether or not they even play, they're already pushed in motion the idea of starting the season in December, which you and I have talked about on this show for years, starting the season Christmas Day. So that apparently the owners love the idea of the Christmas Day launch, which makes absolutely perfect sense.
Agree.
The Christmas Day launch. So, in your eyes, Link, does the NBA go, well, we can play. It comes down to like 150 people per game. Now, you do have, 20 teams.
Right.
And it all depends on, they did a big piece on ESPN.com that detailed hotels and, cooks and maids and all kinds of stuff, right? Like, what are you going to do? Because, any person that comes in contact with some member of the team, not to mention just the internal team personnel, then you have the TV to broadcast the games, right? So if you do no fans, there's still a significant amount of people that would be involved in putting together a playoffs type of thing.
True.
So that's baseball. I mean, that's basketball. I don't know. The hockey, I'll lay them all out for you. Hockey feels like it's hell bent on trying to finish the season.
Right.
But of course, hockey, it costs you way more people. Now, their plan is to have a playoff system that would include 24 teams.
Damn.
And they would have a host city for each of the divisions. they tour in Canada, one's in Carolina. You know, they would figure it out like that, right? Arizona might be one. And then all the playoff teams stay in that city and play in that rink.
Mm-hmm.
And they would do a playoff system, again, that would start up in June, July, around the NBA time, and run its course and then start later. Now, traditionally, the hockey season starts in September with training camp and October with games.
So they would push that back, too, in essence.
Right, which, by the way, Link, that makes no sense to me because you're better off. We're already in May.
Right.
You're better off just putting an X through the season and starting over if you're going to keep that calendar, unless they don't want to keep the calendar, and it appears that that's a possibility. And finally, Link, baseball, which threw out the idea of, hey, we're gonna have everybody in Florida, Arizona, which I liked. I thought that was fun, but the players did not. To your point,
right?
So now it's let's get 10-team divisions. There would be 3 10-team divisions: East, Midwest, West, and those 10 the 10-team divisions. 4 of the 10 would make a playoffs. They would actually play in their home ballparks and run it through the divisions. You only play your teams in division, which would limit travel, but players get to stay home,
right?
And they get to play in their home ballparks. You have a 100-game season, and you play. And I had the writer on this week, Bob Nightingale from USA Today, who said they would play into Thanksgiving weekend.
Damn. Better hope it's good weather.
Right. And they were like, well, it's been good weather recently because of whatever you want to call global warming or whatever. So they feel confident in that. I don't know. I mean, play baseball and it gets cold in November, man.
True story. You know, regardless of which plan you devise, ultimately, the reason I think you're going to have trouble implementing it is because you have to ask the guys to stay, the athletes, to stay away from their families.
Well, the NBA is only a couple months. It's really like
still,
you're talking about 8 weeks.
But it's still, you're telling guys to stay away from their families. More importantly, you know, if they allow their families to come, you're telling the families they have to stay indoors at a hotel.
No families.
Yeah, so, I mean,
you can't have families.
That's the initial logistics that I think that you will have an issue.
But 10 weeks is not a baseball season, right? Like, baseball season, those guys, it was like a little much, right? Like, can those guys really, be away from their families for all that significant
4 months,
amount of time?
5 months, something like that.
I mean, you're talking 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe 11. I mean, if you go to the finals, and you and I both know, first of all, half the league is young, and they don't have families, right? And the other half of the league that has families, it's to go away for, 10 weeks, 11 weeks, it's not that bad. I mean, just saying. I mean,
just because you would like a break, just doesn't mean
we're all cooped up. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
I mean, if someone said, "Hey, stay at a 5-star hotel, play ball for the next 11 weeks, and hang with the guys,"
I'm not saying you feel sorry for them. Yeah, no. I definitely understand, and I know.
I'm just saying from human nature,
the luxury. The luxury of that's before these athletes and professional. I mean, they're not going to be skipping and really making them stay like in a college dormitory room. So I know that. I just think that logistically you have an issue because you're actually keeping people sequestered away from their families. And what I mean, and this is the thing. If you're the NBA, and let's say you go to Orlando, you have the hotel space, you put a team with it, different hotels, or you separate the floors, however you want to do it. Because as you mentioned, they have the least amount of people to include. Doing the logistics, the hotel staff, the cleaning staff, all the security, everything else. And then you talk about the arena folks who are working the arenas, the TV crews and all that. All those people have to be sequestered and kept away from everyone else. Now, now NBA athletes are compensated well. The hotels are going to have to figure out their compensation for their people involved, so on and so forth, the city and everything else that plays into it. Logistically, it can be done. However, in order to plan and make something happen like that, you had to start planning 2 weeks ago. You have to have it in mind. You can't, and then you got to get the players to agree. Now, whereas you can sit there and say, well, yeah, a lot of the NBA players are young. A lot of the notable big heads are older. The Chris Pauls, the LeBron James, those guys, they're older. So you're telling them you're going to stay away from your family. I think you have a hard time with the older veterans that have a little power that say, you know what?
I think that's a convenient excuse.
I'm not saying I'm not using an excuse. I'm just saying
are we keeping it real or are we keeping it real?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
You know, I mean, we all love our families to death, but, you know, when you're cooped up all this time, you know, you're not going to be – you're going to go play the playoff, and not everybody's got to be going for
because you got to remember they played almost a full season of basketball, and now they've been off. You know, whatever they've been doing on their own, whatever they've been working on is not the same as practice. So you want me to basically go back to a place where I have to get in shape again, like a mini training camp or whatever, and then finish the rest of the season?
No, that's it.
And I'm telling you, mindset is like, why? Done. I'm good. Let's wait till the next one.
Hold the thought, all right? Let me try to sway you a little bit if I could.
Okay.
And let's try to figure out. We will get into major football stuff, lots and lots of football. Ooh, that's good. That we'll talk about. Not just restarting or when to start, but the landscape of the NFL. We are the fellas. He's the great Lincoln Kennedy. I am Anthony Gargano. Together, the fellas, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Here's some numbers for you.
1, 2, 3,
24/7. Those numbers represent the hours and days we bring you the best sports coverage on your radio. It's all day, every day. You know who we are. Fox Sports Radio. Sports with attitude.
Men, with today's health concerns, it's more important than ever to take care of your body. That means eating right, sleeping enough, and maybe even taking supplements. My supplement is M-Drive Elite. Designed to strengthen your body, M-Drive Elite is packed with powerful, clinically tested ingredients, including immune support, all in one easy supplement. M-Drive Elite is the premier M-Drive. Listen to these benefits: testosterone support for energy and strength, immune support for cell health, antioxidant support for vital cell functions. Plus, the M-Drive team is so confident, they'll give you your money back if you're not 100% satisfied within 60 days. With today's health concerns, you need to eat right, sleep enough, and supplement your diet where needed. Get M-Drive Elite at GNC and Vitamin Shop, or go to mdriveformen.com and use the code DRIVE to get 20% off your first M-Drive purchase. M-Drive Elite. Elite testosterone and immune support. Go to mdriveformen.com today and use the code DRIVE at checkout to get 20% off your first M-Drive purchase. Refind your prime with M-Drive.
Since 1964, Hustler Turf has been engineering and making the original zero-turn lawnmowers right here in the USA with U.S. and global parts. Professional landscapers and homeowners rely on Hustler's trademark smooth track steering, their durable welded steel decks, and their premium reinforced seats that provide a superior ride and ultra comfort. Once you drive a Hustler, you'll immediately feel the difference. And let me tell you something else. You'll actually look forward to mowing your grass. These top-of-the-line mowers allow you to mow faster and more efficiently. For professionals, that means money in your pocket. For homeowners, that means spending more time with your family. If something should ever happen to your Hustler mower, or you simply need a replacement part like a new blade, help is never far away with Hustler's gigantic network of almost 1,400 dealers nationwide. Visit hustlerturf.com to find one near you. That's HUSTLER turf.com.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Can anyone explain to me why anyone would care how I measure your roof? We have all heard about measuring your roof from outer space. Well, to be honest, there are aerial pictures that are taken every 4 years that can be used to measure a building, but it's not from outer space. Besides, no one, and I mean no one, can tell you what's wrong with your roof or even if you need one by using pictures that might be 4 years old. If you would rather do business with a family-owned and operated business with a lifelong tie to Memphis that refuses to mislead or use gimmicks, please give me a call. Best products, best warranties, and the best customer service we know how to provide. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire-roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
There are so many ways that you can get this talent. There's radio.
You can stick with us on radio.
Podcast.
Everything you hear, we podcast it.
Streaming.
Listen on demand anytime you want.
YouTube.
And don't forget,
Twitter at Fox Sports Radio.
Got some tweets I want to get to.
Oh, there's Asking Alexa or Google Play.
So blame it on that damn social media.
There's so many ways.
I feel like Oprah. You get the show. You get the show. You get the show.
We're audio and we're all over the place.
We're all set.
We're Fox Sports Radio.
This is
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1.
I'm Big Lincoln. He's Cuz, and we are the fellas. We're brought to you by Discover. Hey, get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply. Well, if you're just joining us, segment we had a little...
Real quick.
Go ahead.
I got to tell you, Chris has got a great soul, man.
He comes on with a little funk for you?
He's got Love Gun, Rick James.
Yeah.
It's easy enough tee up.
No, but listen. You come out with this, and you got soul, man. I give you lots of props.
Gotta start the morning strong.
Because this is a bust out, man. Like, this is only Lincoln I ain't, I'm impressed, Chris.
Thank you.
That's old school funk. I'm sorry, Link. You got me going, man.
Yeah, certainly.
This is a Cuz playlist. But I have all these different ones, and I had the funk one from back when we were kids.
Yeah.
And the funk one's always one of my favorites. I do that late night where I'm writing about right now I'm doing this show, and it encompasses all the See, you know what's funny? Poor Chris goes, What you talk about are the gangster movies and stuff. Well, I mean, I'm writing a show that encompasses all these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing all this research, and I got it coming out of my ears. You're like, it doesn't matter whatever it is. Like, normally it's sports for us, right?
Right,
but with this downtime, I've been immersed in this show that I'm writing, and it's Black Mafia, Italian Mafia, it's like all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's this the K&A gang that were second-story guys robbing houses, rich house. Like, it's crazy. Like, the story unions, and it takes place in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So to write this show, I need to get in the mood.
Certainly.
So I go and put this music on while I'm trying to write it to try to transport what it would be like if I was living in the 70s.
Well, now you had an afro back then, so have you picked out your afro so you could really get into the moment?
Yeah. Although they couldn't take it anymore, so the kids shaved me.
Oh, is that right?
They got clippers out. Yeah, it's horrible. I look like my dog. They got the clippers out because they were like, "This is ridiculous." Dude. I was looking like Kaepernick. And
for those that don't know, Cuz back in the day had a full-fledged afro.
My 1982.
Yeah, we got the pictures to show it. I got some.
Yeah. I was the Kaepernick hair, like way high.
Oh yeah.
So you bring up interesting points to logistic wise and whether or not. So like I think you and I agree that I don't even know why hockey would even try to come back. I mean, you're already in May. To your point is, I know you guys have been planning, but it's one thing because we've gotten some good news with how we've controlled the pandemic. And quite frankly, we don't even know if it's time yet to play games.
Right.
It's important to get people back to work, but, what part of the sports playing at? And are you risking, anything more?
Right.
I don't know. Like, we're running that fine line with just opening up society again, right?
Certainly, without a doubt.
So now you get the sports piece of it. You go, well, is it really essential? No, we know there's a lot of money at stake, and we know we all want to watch our games, but is it really essential to finish a hockey season?
Yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing, and you're right. And you can probably say that for the two sports that are currently, well, now there's three, but that were in season before all this stuff happened, and that was hockey and basketball. You asked the question, is it worth coming back? And logistically, how do you do it? And what are you asking of the people? Is it worth to come back and just play that little mini games? Is it absolutely essential to have an NBA championship? Is it absolutely essential to have a hockey championship? For the fans, they'll say, yes, come back. I'm fine. He's fine. Let's come back and do it. But if you ignore all the warnings that from the quote unquote experts that you entitled you enlisted to do to research and tell me what, give me the best case scenario, give me the worst case scenario, give me everything, put it in on table. If you ignore the worries, because there's been speculation there's been talk about that this is going to be around for, this pandemic could last for 18 months to 2 years. It could come back. It could come back in full force. So then you have to take that in consideration when you're planning the logistics of this. And like for the NBA, they were talking about if they do it in Orlando, they're going to have, what they call pods of like 5 teams. That if one person on those teams gets it, that 5 is out. That pod is out.
Right. Now, you can't like eliminate a team or a pod.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Again, it goes back to logistics. How seriously are you going to take this pandemic? Or how and that, okay. All of that being said, the best way to summarize it is to say that you have to get the players to agree. And I just don't know if the players will agree unanimously. Or commanding vote will agree. Because where I do agree with you about, a lot of the young guys who don't have families, there are a lot of old guys who have power who do have family, and I don't think they'll do it. I really don't. I don't see a Chris Paul saying, you know what, I'm cool going with it. And I could be wrong. I just don't. Know what I know about these guys and watching them, especially around their families during this time. You're telling me that I got to go someplace, get back in shape to play the remainder of a season. And if you're the Thunder of OKC, do you really think you have a chance in the West to win? So that has to play in your mind. Like, why would I want to go back?
Right. Yeah.
Just take the top 10 teams or whatever it is, or top 8 teams or 6 teams, whatever you want. Just let them go. They've got a better chance of winning than we do.
Right. Right. No, I mean, you listen. You bring up a good point when it comes to all that stuff, and then you get to the point where you go, well, do we just, instead of forcing it? Now there's a ton of revenue loss, so we understand that we're losing the revenue, right? So we go, all right, well, what are we going to do? Do you get to the point where you say, you know what? We might as well just what's the use? And if we played, what does it matter? So you win a tournament, big deal, right? Yeah. Like you're not even playing 7 games, you're playing 3 games,
right?
All that stuff. Like you get to the point where you go, well, is it worth putting on a show? Because ultimately, there's an asterisk no matter what, right? Like, if you want it, what does it really matter? It's not a real playoff. It's kind of like you get a big break in between. Are you better off just saying, you know what? Take the time. We'll come back strong. We'll play this thing. We'll start in December with the new calendar. By December, we'll be good to go.
If I were the puppet master and I had all the control, I would say basketball and hockey are done. We're going to pick up the new season as on a normal set schedule. You're done. You get an extended break.
So you say Dunsky. Put an asterisk by it, NHL, NBA.
Yep. We're done. We'll pick up when, as you said, September or whatever, training camp, August, whatever it is, we'll pick up at the normal time, start of that. We're done. Now those two sports, hockey and basketball, need to concentrate on their draft and how they plan to evaluate talent and stuff like that. You guys take the liberty of bringing in new players. That's what you're going to do. We're going to be, if we have some time after everything clears up, maybe we'll have a little bit of a summer league ball so coaches could get a little a look-see at the guys that they have. Maybe. But for the most part, your season's done. Baseball, I would say, was going to have a condensed season, meaning that I want to start. I'm going to wash the month of May. Just going to wash the month of May. I'm saying we're going to start in June. We're going to start in June. We're going to play the entire summer, a condensed schedule, to conclude our normal World Series by beginning of October. I think that is if I'm not
mistaken. End of October now.
End of October or something like that. That's going to be our condensed season. So tell me how many games, logistically, that we can fit between June and the end of October, including the World Series. That's bad.
Can you even play in June? I mean, that's you're
it's a
probably
lot because
talking
you're
the
talking
end
about
of June to get started. You guys' arms got to get stretched out. You got a lot of work to do before you could even think about playing ball. So,
but I would come out
May
with the
2nd. Yeah.
Well, I would say that now we're here on May 2nd. I would come out with a disclaimer around telling clubs to find a way to get their guys going by May 20th. Just to get there going, because we want to start things up. Whether it's whatever it is, I want to start things up in June. And we know the product's not going to be good, but we're going to start things up as quickly as we can in June. That's I know it's hard because logistically you're talking about implementing something.
So the what baseball is talking about is starting up on July the 2nd,
right?
Leading into July 4th weekend,
right?
All right, July 4th, I believe, is a Saturday. So their hope is to lead in July the 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
So baseball begins and collides with Independence Day weekend,
which is not a problem because you often equate that weekend with baseball or somewhere around there.
No, it's symbolic. So
yeah,
it's good that way. And then they would play. They said they would play 100 games that would span July, August, September, and then October playoffs. End of October, or maybe even October ball. Then November is the playoffs.
Made sense if there were more dome stadiums, but they're not. I mean,
I
places
agree with
like
you.
New York,
I agree.
Detroit. I'm just
what's
thinking out loud.
Minnesota going to be like in November?
Exactly.
Right? Like it's crazy. All right, let's see what Figgy has to say. Fig, do me a favor. Hit us with trending, and then let's bat this idea around with you.
All right, we'll do it. In trending, some news out of the NFL on Friday. The Jaguars not picking up the fifth-year option on running back Leonard Fournette. The team had reportedly been shopping him, but had not been able to consummate a trade over the last couple of weeks. Fournette did have his best season of his career last year. He racked up over 1,600 yards from scrimmage and was the team's leading receiver. Broncos declining the fifth-year option on their starting offensive tackle Garrett Bowles. The former first-round pick has struggled so far early in his career. He's led the league in holding penalties every year since being drafted in 2017. And the NBA board, every year. That's not good. And I believe he's ranked in the top 5 in penalties across the league as a whole in his 3 years as well.
That's wild.
Caught in the struggle there, Garrett Bowles. So we'll see what happens. The NBA's Board of Governors voted to postpone the draft combine and the lottery. They are both scheduled for later this month. The draft, as of now, is still scheduled to take place on June 25th. But possibly that could be changed as well. More likely than not, it will. And the league officials also discussing the possibility of starting the 2020-2021 regular season in late December, possibly on Christmas Day. Fellas?
All right, we are the fellas coming live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio Studios. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com for a free rate quote. Lincoln Kennedy, Anthony Gargano, our man Figgy on trending. Fig, all right, let's bat this around. Bring you into the conversation. You're the NBA, you're the NHL. Do you play this summer, or do you just say, you know what, I don't know how we're going to do this logistically, and as much as the revenues would be nice, let's take the safe route and just plan for next season?
Well, if they can find some way to fit this in and they can get the logistics worked out, there's nothing wrong with trying your best to try to make it work. I don't have an issue with them. Look, it's going to be a weird, funky season for every professional sport. I think that includes college football and the NFL as we move forward as well. There's nothing wrong with exhausting every avenue you possibly can to try to get some semblance of a season in because, look, these teams, along with the players, are all losing revenue, and people who work at the stadiums, I mean, if they can find some way to get a couple of games in or some sort of, mini tournament just to get the revenues going for television contracts and for the players and for the organizations and just for the fans as well, to be honest with you. I don't want, selfishly to not have any NBA or have any, even the NHL, the Stanley Cup playoffs. So if they can find a way to make it work, there's no reason not to. I don't think they should just give up and throw up their hands and say, well, if this isn't going to work, you have to at least try.
All right, so logistically speaking, the NBA, I don't know how you do the NHL. They talked about having the host city. I know you read that when I read Figgy, was having the host city for each of the divisions. Mm-hmm. They would have 24 teams, and they would have an elimination. The first 2 seeds would play each other for the first seed in a division. The rest would play to continue playing, and then that would bring us to 16 teams in your traditional playoff system. But that's a lot of games. Mm-hmm. And, again, can you do that in these host cities where everybody's staying at hotels and you're back into – and, hockey, you're talking about, a lot of people involved in a hockey game. They always call in the equipment, a lot of guys get skin irritations, and they call it the gunk. So because of the sweat and all the equipment, it's not the most sanitary place, a hockey locker room.
Very true. But if you're working under the assumption that they're in some sort of bubble and everybody who's in is cleared of having any COVID-19 symptoms, then that will lessen it a little bit. You wouldn't have to worry so much about that.
Yes.
But to your point, even more so than the NBA, with the NHL, there's so much more equipment and trainers and potential injuries and, reserves and all of that. So that's very true. But I still think if you have an opportunity, though there was talk of them possibly having their games in South Dakota or something, I think they kind of put the kibosh on that idea a couple of weeks ago. I do like the fact that they're at least trying to get a little bit creative and trying to find a way to make it work. And look, ultimately, if we get to, early June or late this month and they just say, look, there's no way possible we can figure this out, we'll have to cut our losses. I hope that comes after they've already exhausted every single measure. But as of giving up on it right now, when we still have the entire summer to go, and both leagues, by the way, I just told you that the NBA is talking about starting its season around Christmas, which many people believe it should anyway. And I know Gary Bettman said this week that there's a possibility that the NHL might look into starting its next season in December or possibly early January. So if you're working off of that premise, if you're working off of that premise, why can't you, continue the season a little bit later than usual?
And I just want to interject along that point. I think that because we are in an unprecedented time, the fact is that if this didn't happen, we wouldn't be exploring these options. I mean, we would think it'd be ludicrous. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't hockey start on time? Why wouldn't basketball start on its normal time? Because that's been tradition. But now you could afford to adjust things. You could think out the box. If you honestly feel as basketball, and I mean, this is how I feel as a fan. I don't normally start watching professional basketball till Christmas because I'm too involved with college football, and everything else. I just don't care. But if you're saying that, if you're taking that in consideration or that thought in consideration, well, why wouldn't we start our season around Christmas? Then we could ride in, to the summertime where, sports has the viewership seems to have a big drop off in the sense. Well, I mean, I know Figgy, his numbers will sort of, when it comes to baseball, will argue differently, especially in the regional market. But nationally, maybe some of the games might have fallen off where you can compete and probably get a better TV contract if you've got basketball throughout the summer.
Oh, yeah, because those games matter. Late July baseball games, people are, those are the dog days. People aren't paying attention. But if you're, the second round Western Conference, Eastern Conference finals in the NBA, wherever you are, if you're on vacation, you're in your hotel room or you're at the bar taking in that playoff game.
Because that's exactly how it was for me in Aruba watching the finals.
Yep,
I made sure I found a way to be in the sports bar or wherever it was, a place to watch the games when I was on vacation. So I agree with that. But you have that opportunity to explore.
I'm swooning right now.
You have that opportunity to probably try.
I'm swooning because Lincoln, after all these years, he's on my side.
The only one I did not agree with you, and the other ones I honestly could see happening and had no problem with. I just didn't agree with the football, carrying it through March.
Yeah, you lost me on that one.
Okay, all right. Listen, I'll take it. But even better, which I want to get to, which is college football. So we will have football in March. But I will take I will take that. But I'm so happy because I agree with you guys. Like the NBA starting Christmas Day and the NHL starting on New Year's Day with a classic would be pretty awesome. I mean, it'd be pretty awesome. Now, we would be devoid of sports, in the fall. Like, all of a sudden, the fall becomes a bit barren. Now, especially if college football, like reports are saying, starts in February.
Well, then the NFL has to adjust its schedule and give you like a triple header on Saturday. One game on Thursday, nothing on Friday, triple header on Saturday, some games on Sunday, then you have Monday. That's what the NFL would have to take up the slack with.
And it will be smart if they were to do that. There were discussions, I believe Sports Business Journal had an article about that. In case college football did move its season or didn't have its season in the fall, the NFL is talking about possibly splitting up its Sunday package. So instead of having 12 games on Sunday or 14 games on Sunday, you'll have 6 on Saturday and 6 or 7 on Sunday.
See?
It's a brilliant idea.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Listen, yes. Let me throw this to you guys because I already had a plan for this.
Of course.
I want to have Thursday night football, Friday night football, the 3 games on Saturday, right? So you have just like a normal, the way we would do it, right? 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Or you guys do it. What will you guys do? 10 o'clock?
Yeah, it's normally 10, 1, and 4:30 or 5.
Yeah.
Right. So same kind of schedule. Maybe even throwing in a late, like a West Coast 7 o'clock, 7:30 start. All right. So I would have 4 games on a Saturday, the normal Sunday, and a Monday night. I mean, you could tell me Friday Night Football wouldn't be huge across the country?
Now,
for the kids.
Yeah, doesn't the NFL not want to step on high school's toes? I mean, there's a couple of I think the SEC does that because they know that high school football is so big down there. They don't want to step on the toes of high school sports.
Oh, we have Pac-12 games on Friday nights.
Oh, we do. You're right.
Yeah.
You know, we have
Nobody
all the games.
watches those either.
Exactly. You're right, Link. As much as it pains us to say, they aren't watching those either.
No, but again, all due respect to the Tykes. I don't care. The kids aren't playing.
Come on, cuz.
The kids aren't playing anyway. All right?
That's just wrong.
If they're not playing college, they're not playing high school. All right? No, they're out. Sorry. I don't care.
Yeah,
Play,
if it's in a universe where, yes, there's not going to be high school football, and Friday there's a void there, then for one season, one anomalous season, I guess it couldn't hurt.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Give him an inch, you got to take a mile.
I know. That's the thing.
I know, but it'd be awesome.
I gave you Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You just had to incorporate
No, pretty
Friday.
soon, Link. Here comes Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon.
No, my only 2 days off. Like, I can deal with having a Tuesday, Wednesday off. All right? But as long as I have Thursday through Monday, and I need my Friday night, we're going to do Friday night. There's no game. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a game. Gotta have a game.
Not the game, just practice.
Exactly.
All we need is practice.
You heard that in my voice.
When do you practice? When do you recoup? When do you just?
Yeah, it's a quick question, Link. When are you supposed to?
How are you supposed to implement?
There is no recouping. We will come back, and I really want you guys to think about this. Will we have college football? You know how important we talk about college football, and we do it our show. During the season, do heavy college. Are we going to have it this year? I mean, I want you guys to really think about this thing, and let's take a look at the changing landscape of college sports. We're the fellas, Lincoln Kennedy, Anthony Gargano. We got Figgy, and we got Bursch, and we got Chris. We'll talk to those guys coming up as well. Fellas, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Welcome. Since we finally got a taste of some sort of sports,
The 2020 NFL Draft.
So now, as we move on here,
we need more.
even more.
So let's all stay inside, social distance, and wash our hands. Because the taste of sports is what we all need on Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, it's Ben Mather. Though we are apart these days, we're sharing more. And Geico would like to say thanks. Thanks for sharing your savage dance moves. Thanks for sharing your DIY haircut fails. Thanks for sharing your inner lip sync star. And now it's Geico's turn to share too, with a Geico give back of 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for current and new customers. And because Geico's committed for the long haul, the 15% credit lasts your full policy term. Visit geico.com/giveback for information, eligibility.
TimeshareTerminationTeam.com will get you out.
Are you tired of paying costly fees for a timeshare you can never use? Timeshare Termination Team will get you out of your timeshare, legally and permanently, guaranteed. Act now to get 15% off this month only. Visit TimeshareTerminationTeam.com today.
TimeshareTerminationTeam.com will get you out.
At First Bank Mortgage, their core purpose is to help you get to a better place. That better place may be a lower monthly payment, that vacation you thought was impossible, or getting into a home with a fenced backyard where your kids can play. To get into your better place, First Bank Mortgage makes decisions right here at home. Dedicated to helping you get to your better place, First Bank Mortgage. Call Daniel Mooney at 901-462-0145 today. NMLS 741022. Equal housing lender.
Case IH is a proud supporter of the Mississippi Farm Bureau, and thanks to a membership benefits partnership, Mississippi Farm Bureau members receive a discount of up to $500 on every qualifying Case IH tractor and piece of equipment you purchase. This discount may be used with other promotions, rebates, or offers. So join Mid-South Ag Equipment and the Mississippi Farm Bureau and pocket up to $500 in savings. Call Mid-South Ag at 662-890-3141 to get your discount today.
You can get podcasts of all our daily shows and all of our biggest interviews delivered right to your inbox just by signing up at sports56whbq.com. It's the best way to stay informed on what's going on in sports, and it's brought to you by Surfacapes Concrete Floors. Garage, restaurants, office, retail, and industrial floors, Surfacapes does them all, as well as pool decks. Call 901-888-5000 or go to surfacapes.com. Get full shows and the best interviews from Sports 56 delivered straight to your inbox. Sign up at sports56whbq.com.
Have you dreamed of owning a car that starts every time when you turn the key? A used car that looks good and doesn't break down when you go somewhere? Call 901-380-5800. Victory Auto Sales now. Do you want a car that doesn't come with a set of jumper cables in the front seat? Do you want a car that gets good gas mileage and really is reliable transportation? Call 901-380-5800. Victory Auto Sales now, or check out the website at victoryauto.org. Call or visit Victory Auto Sales at 4885 Elmore, just off Covington Pike now, for a car you can afford and financing that doesn't take your whole paycheck. When you call Victory Auto Sales at 380-5800, you can throw away the jumper cables. When you buy a car from Victory Auto Sales, the tow truck driver will no longer be your best friend. Call Victory Auto Sales now, 901-380-5800, for a car that really is reliable transportation. Call 901-380-5800 now. That's Victory Auto Sales. VictoryAuto.org.
Central Barbecue is committed to the health and safety of this community, who has supported Central for almost 20 years. Central Barbecue is still open for business with to-go and delivery options to serve the greater Memphis area with the same great barbecue you have come to know and love. With 4 locations to serve you, from downtown, midtown, and East Memphis, you can order your favorite barbecue and enjoy everything on the menu in the comfort of your own home. Call your nearest Central Barbecue location for more information on delivery and to-go options today.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
If you don't know us by now, first question. How is that possible? We're a fun-loving sports network. We give you insight.
This story is something I absolutely love.
We give you hot takes.
This is an insane hot take.
We give you the sports and information you need.
It's fun. It's the best.
As Biggie once said, if you don't know, now you know.
And if you don't know, now you know.
We're Fox Sports Radio. Thank you. All right. The new era of WWE is underway. Friday nights on Fox. Each and every week, catch all the superstars, all the action. Oh, yeah! It's Friday Night SmackDown, only on Fox.
Slipping into darkness.
Fellas. Hey, get your free credit scorecard today. Even if you're not a Discover customer, it includes your FICO credit score. Check your scorecard, won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply. We are the fellas, Lincoln Kennedy, Anthony Gargano, hanging out on a Saturday, the 2nd of May, 2020. Hope on the horizon for some of these games, some of the sports. One of the things we're wondering about is whether or not they can play college football. We have already heard from university presidents about the prospects of college classes in the fall, and a lot of people think it's not going to open for the fall semester, that it doesn't look like you're going to have college classes in the fall, which means you wouldn't have college football, Lincoln.
Right. And then this is a bigger puzzle because you have to weigh the risk versus rewards. Whereas the football program does a lot for all sports. So if you're an athletic director at a major university, yeah, you would like to see your big money generator allow you to be able to do the other sports because there's so many people, so many other things that are affected. Logistically, again, you got to go back to logistics, how practical it is. You know that when you have a college campus or a college situation where there's 30,000, 40,000 students on average, they're not practicing social distancing. Though you can learn from afar, you can't necessarily have, football from afar. It's a contact sport. So,
right.
You could sequester the football team. That's used to be done. There's a lot of colleges that have, football dormitories or football living. I mean, you can do that. But again, it's also you're talking about young men. You're going to tell them for 3 months you got to keep the women away. And I'm just throwing things out there. Come on now. Is that realistic? is that practical? Dude, you can't have any parties. You can't, no, this is college. You're going to try to live that life. So, and then on the top of that, you got to think about how the parents feel. If you're not having any school, how can I honestly, logistically say, okay, son or, daughter, go off to college?
Yeah, you can't be, I agree with you. There can't be just virtual classes.
Right.
And you're going to play games. You're going to imperil students. I mean, I don't know how that goes over. Fig, can you somehow see it happening?
Not really, especially to you guys' point that, many of the people in charge have said we're not going to play football until school is in session. There have been coaches, there have been administrators who've said it. So it'll just be out of pure greed at that point. Can we get money? Can we get eyeballs on the television to get these kids, again, these kids who are not being paid, to do this, to put them at any sort of risk? I just don't see how you can.
Yeah, I know they allowed there all of a sudden they showed a soul, the NCAA, a soulless organization, and allowed kids to profit off their likeness. Thank you very much. And I wondered, is that a precursor to trying to shoehorn football? I wondered that, quite frankly, knowing that, that they'll do anything to play games.
Right. Which I agree. I do think that they will do anything to play games.
But ultimately, I think Figgy's right. I think ultimately, Link, you're right, and there's no way in the world you can exploit college kids.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, even during this pandemic, we've seen when, people have protested, not reopening the state or not reopening, work or something like that. And they protest and we see people out in public fraternizing, hanging out like there's nothing, nothing going on. You're telling me you're going to ask 18 through 22-year-olds to just sit in a dorm room and play Madden all day?
You're right.
In major city or not even major city, anywhere. Come on now.
You're right. Come on now.
Hey, you guys can't leave. We got security that's preventing you from leaving. No, you can't leave, but come to football practice. Or we got a game this Saturday against Notre Dame. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't see it. I can't because again, we're already in May.
Yeah.
Things. It's tough to get major entities to get ready to play and how you would do it. All right, we'll keep talking about this. Very interesting. We'll also talk about the league itself, the NFL, where the fellas right here on Fox Sports Radio.
We are Fox Sports!
Since 1964, Hustler Turf has been engineering and making the original zero-turn lawnmowers right here in the USA with U.S. and global parts. Professional landscapers and homeowners rely on Hustler's trademark smooth track steering, their durable welded steel decks, and their premium reinforced seats that provide a superior ride and ultra comfort. Once you drive a Hustler, you'll immediately feel the difference. And let me tell you something else. You'll actually look forward to mowing your grass. These top-of-the-line mowers allow you to mow faster and more efficiently. For professionals, that means money in your pocket. For homeowners, that means spending more time with your family. If something should ever happen to your Hustler mower, or you simply need a replacement part like a new blade, help is never far away with Hustler's gigantic network of almost 1,400 dealers nationwide. Visit hustlerturf.com to find one near you. That's HUSTLER turf.com.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
For over 8 decades, America's farmers have counted on the Little Red Tractor from Case IH, the Farmall, to help them make short work of their demanding chores. Well, Mid-South Ag can show you they aren't just for farms anymore. With horsepower ranging from 30 to 105, plus an army of attachments, they can tackle every chore on your to-do list, from hauling and mowing to loading and towing and then some. Stop by Mid-South Ag Equipment or call 662-890-3141 to find a Case IH Farmall that's right for you.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper. 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase. And 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC. DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Periscope. Don't miss out on anything. Stay in touch with Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 on social media.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Chad Gatlin is your Mid-South Farmers agent, and he's easy to find. Just go to memphisfarmers.com to get a fast quote or call his office at 901-237-1176. And during this wild time we're all facing, know Chad has you covered. Whether you need to file a claim, get a quote, or just talk about what he can do to give you the absolute best coverage at the best price. Chad is a Memphis man and knows the area and that everyone is different, and he will work to make sure you have everything you need and nothing you don't. Get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com or call 901-235-1176.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Fox Sports Trending now.
News out of the NFL with the Jacksonville Jaguars did not pick up the fifth-year option on running back Leonard Fournette. The team reportedly has been shopping him in trades but have not been able to consummate a deal. Fournette had his best season of his career in 2019 as he racked up over 1,600 yards from scrimmage. The Denver Broncos declined the fifth-year option on their starting offensive tackle Garrett Bowles. The former first-round pick has struggled so far in his career. He has led the league in holding penalties every year since being drafted in the first round of the 2017 draft. The NBA's Board of Governors voted to postpone the draft combine and the draft lottery. They were both scheduled for later this month. The NBA draft, as of this point, is still scheduled to take place on June 25th. The league officials also discussed the possibility of starting the 2020-2021 regular season in late December. I'm Kevin Figures.
We are Fox Sports.
Here we go.
Without further ado,
It's Fox Sports Saturday with the fellas.
that's true. That right.
Anthony Gargano.
I'm a complete weirdo.
And three-time Pro Bowler Lincoln Kennedy.
That's it? What?
The fellas are on and popping now.
Live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios.
Here's Anthony Gargano and three-time Pro Bowler Lincoln Kennedy.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It is 7 a.m. in the East, 4 a.m. in the West on May the 2nd, 2020. Fellas, Lincoln Kennedy, Anthony Gargano right here on Fox Sports Radio, coming to you live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Just visit geico.com for a free rate quote. Predominantly first hour spent on how to bring sports back. Who comes back? Logistics. Do they play? Is it basketball for a 2.5-month tournament? Is it hockey to finish out the playoffs? Is it baseball for a 100-game season that wraps around Thanksgiving Day or Thanksgiving weekend? Just imagine Black Friday baseball. You in for that, Link?
Black Friday baseball. What is that? Sell on baseball reduction?
Right. We'll have a game 4 of the World Series on Black Friday.
Oh, Black Friday. Oh, that. Yeah, how about that?
Imagine that.
Imagine being in, let's just say, Minnesota or something like that. In Target Field. Black Friday. What kind of weather are you expecting?
Imagine this, Link, which would be our whole world's upside down. Don't get me wrong, I would love it. But imagine March 1st, right? And you're thinking, March 1st. We just went through March 1st, right? Mm-hmm. There's nothing going on March 1st. It's bad NBA games, bad NHL games, right? Dog days of the season. But on this coming March 1st, you're looking live at a sold-out Horseshoe, where the Ohio State Buckeyes are playing the Wisconsin Badgers in football. How bizarre, dude. Really, like, crazy would that be?
That would be
to
crazy.
watch, like, college football,
Man, it's
February, March, April, May, championship games, Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, that would be something. That would be something.
I mean, that would be outrageous. 10 months of the year. Football. Football.
Oh, I just put on another 20 pounds. Not going anywhere.
It would be fabulous to have 10 months a year football. Fabulous.
That'd be something.
Like you would OD on NFL, you OD on college.
Yeah.
You separate the two. Is it possible? Is it possible that they would become bigger?
You know what?
Yeah, right.
Because there'd be a market for it. Obviously, yeah, they would become bigger. You would have more. A bigger draw for people to either want to have the TV packages for the NFL, to be able to access all those games, and the fact that you can now see more of them on TV if you spread out the season over the weekend. And same thing.
Yeah,
for
because
college.
you have this country. People don't realize how vast the country is and how big college football is. Like we understand the magnitude of the NFL, but imagine, again, you got college football's a monster. It's a beast, right?
Oh yeah.
Now all of a sudden that doesn't come into play. So you got college football first. People go, all right, well, I'm going to be all in NFL on a Saturday. And the same thing for college football. You got a lot of pro cities. Like the Northeast is a very pro-type cities.
Right.
New York, Boston, Philadelphia, D.C., they're not big college football hotbeds.
Right.
But then, all of a sudden, I think fandom would soar for college football.
Would be the thing to do, especially when you talk about the weather might have you bogged down. Better way to watch football. Sit in the hall and watch football.
That's always been my argument.
I know.
Why in the world, when you're landlocked, home locked,
but then you step on the toes of college basketball, that's already being affected though with G League and lack of participation.
Who cares?
Did you get a you gave the Zerbert?
Yeah, who cares? Listen, I love it, and we'll still watch it, but give me spread out football. Let's face it. We talked about, and as much as I love college basketball, let's be real for 1 second. It's the only sport that can't get better.
College basketball?
Yeah. It's the only sport that it will never match what it was back in the day.
Good point.
And if you're 25 years old, I feel bad because you didn't see the height of the 90s and how great college basketball was. I guess before that, too. But, we could speak to the 90s and the 80s, part of the 80s. I mean, that was incredible basketball.
I mean, the tournament is still incredible for what it's worth, but you talk about the build-up throughout the season, the championship caliber matchups. I mean, there used to be some battles aside from the tournament. When the ACC was strong and the Big East was strong, really strong, I mean, you had some dominant, the Big 12. I mean, the list goes on and on. Even when the Pac-10 at the time was good with its basketball team, UCLA and Arizona, most notably. Yeah, some good times, good basketball.
Well, and you can't have it again. You can't because you got the great talents aren't going to stay.
Right.
The thing that will never, we say this now, never, ever, ever happen is Tim Duncan staying for another year after he was already the first pick in the draft.
Right. Very true.
All right.
Well, I will say this though, with that being said, if you're considered a what's the best way to put this? If you're aside from the individual superstar, accolades or look, if you're a fan of team ball, then like we were seeing this year, a lot of the mid majors, like the Daytons, the San Diego States, a lot of the places that you wouldn't normally see in this position were playing good team ball. That was thrilling to watch. Kansas put it together with its big two, and then expanded to trying to find a third as they get into the tournament. Those are things. But you're right; it'll never be the same again.
No, listen.